Hey, it's Rob Sutherland from Pro Broker Agency. Today we're talking to Rick Haase again about United Real Estate. But you know what? Like, Rick, let's talk about recruiting real estate agents. That's what my company does. That's all we do in Vancouver, BC, and across North America is recruit real estate agents. What are some of the pitfalls that you see of people that are trying to recruit agents that maybe aren't really doing a good job? What are some of the things you see? Because I know we see some funny stuff.
I'll bet you do. This is a little bit like I should pose that question to you.
Sure,
As
yeah.
much recruiting
I
as you
mean,
do. Holy smokes.
well,
But
what's silly, is people will put the systems in place. They'll decide they want to recruit, and then they'll get meetings with people, and then they'll ghost the meetings. Like, can
yeah,
you imagine that, Rick? Like,
yeah.
you go to all the effort to get a meeting set up for somebody, and the broker owner knows that that meeting's going to happen, and then just decides to go for coffee or have lunch with someone else and not actually meet with one of the realtors to try and grow their office. My goodness, that is going to catch around like wildfire in the realtor community where they work.
Not only that, Rob, I think if that's a frequent occurrence, look, every time somebody pays us the high compliment of being interested in our company, we treat that as the honor that it is.
It is.
Nothing more flattering than somebody saying, "I want to find out more about your company," and I think we owe those people who are engaged with us in that manner. We go all out. There's a leadership rule that a guy named Tom Peters used to talk about called Ready, Fire, Aim, and that's like wonderful if you're launching programs and new initiatives. It's good to be ready, fire, aim. But when it comes to people, measure twice, cut once is kind of our axiom, the carpenter's axiom. We pay close attention. We give them all the authentic input about who we are, what it's like to really be in the real estate business, and then and try to create the right expectations. I think you actually started that by saying, what are some of the mistakes people make? From a brokerage perspective, I think one of the mistakes they're making today is over relying on the non-human touch. If we send out 8 million emails, we'll get enough people back to have enough interest. But that whole approach is kind of, I know it'll get some numbers done, but it's not the way to go about it. So, so over relying on mass marketing and communication systems that don't really communicate would be one thing. And then I think just generally a lot of real estate agents, a lot of people go through the licensing process and they become real estate agents through the state licensing process, but they really don't know how to run their business. And so I would say underinvesting in the onboarding, coaching, guidance, and development of people after they become licensed is probably, are two of the big mistakes that people make that we see. But if somebody's literally not showing up for an appointment, there's a bigger problem there. Somebody pays us the high compliment of wanting to be part of our company, and we're not showing up for the discussion. And I say that I used to say show up for the meeting, but it's not show up for
Yes.
the meeting anymore. It's show up for the discussion, because as you know, it can be like this, digital, which many of our first and second appointments are. But if they're not showing up for the meeting, the bigger problem is they don't have a passion for growing their business or our business, and it's just a bad fit.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think that great minds think alike when it comes to recruiting. And if you're focused on growth and focused on building your business, it's just like advertising a company. Like you've got to sell your products and services in order to stay in business. And as a real estate broker owner or manager, you've got to sell your office to agents and people who are selling real estate in the community, because otherwise, the first real estate office in the world wasn't built on its own. The guy had to get on the phone and call the people around the town and say, hey, why don't you come over and work for me? I got some great stuff going on over here. And I think that's one of the things people now maybe are embracing more in the past couple of years, is that personalized touch. I think that people are looking for it now more than ever. And I think that places where you've got boutique kind of feel to the offices, but yet the support of a big brand, kind of like what you guys do, really offers people of all different career levels a good platform to start.
Yeah, yeah. You kind of touched or inferred something that I think is really important, and that is you kind of circled it, but the idea of consistency of your approach is really important too, and that
Absolutely.
That's one of the things I like about working with you guys is you spend a certain amount of time blocked for us every day, market to market, marketplace by marketplace, and you're reaching out in a very systematic way, and through that consistency of approach and telling the story frequently and often, I think That's another kind of key to success. When I'm having these conversations with our people, I always say you can't fail to recruit for the first 2 weeks of every month and then cram it all into the last 2 weeks of the month. You have to be consistent. And if you can discipline yourself to be telling your story and truly working on talent attraction in that way, you're going to have success over time. And how similar is that to just life in general, whether it's real estate sales or telling your story to potential new recruits and experienced agent recruits for your company? Consistency, discipline, getting the message out, and not over-relying on technology-based systems to do your talking for you.
I always say, the more time you spend on your Facebook account or your Twitter account or your whatever social media platform, you're not focused on your own website and the things that you have that will be on the internet forever. Facebook could go away. Look, they're already looking to change their name. Anyway, all that kind of stuff that could just go away one day. Meanwhile, your website that's there where realtors are going to have a look at you should have some video content about why they should join your office, some great testimonials from your current agents, like the stuff that United has. It's a full service thing that people sometimes don't really realize when it comes to recruiting. Like you were saying, they leave it for the last 2 weeks of the month when it needs to be the full month. I love that analogy of the whole system. It's a great perspective.
Yeah. You never know when an agent's going to be ready to talk with you. And if you try to catch it all up in a short period of time, you missed a lot of opportunity on the way.
Yeah, I love it. Well, we cut this one today because we're going to run long, obviously. But thanks for being on the show again today, Rick. We'll know we're going to be on this every week talking about things to help build your business and different things about United and the real estate business in the United States. So thanks again for tuning in today, everybody. We look forward to seeing you again next week.
Thanks, Rob. Thanks for the invite.